Hello, my dear students. Myself, Dr. Pitambar Humne, founder Botany for You, and working as Associate Professor and Head Department of Botany, Dharampet MP Deo Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Maharashtra, India. I welcome you all in this online platform for the students of Life Sciences Botany for You. If you are new or not yet subscribed our YouTube channel Botany for You, then kindly like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel. If you would like to associate with us through the Telegram group, then you can join it with the help of link given in the description of this lecture as well as in the comment of the many lectures. So through that you can join and can get the benefit with the different lectures to be uploaded on YouTube channel as well as the different programs which are organized by us. So let's see the today's lecture on MCQ based, that is on the plant physiology and biochemistry, that is paper 1 of the semester 6 as per the RTM Nagpur University Nagpur botany syllabus. Today we will see the third unit of this paper, and this unit include the biotechnology, and of which the topic is plant tissue culture. In this unit, that is plant tissue culture, which includes the definition of totipotency, then explant, aseptic culture, in vitro, then micropropagation, methods of sterilization, that is autoclaving, dry heat, and chemicals, then culture media in the form of MSpedia, then hormone requirement and application of tissue culture, then callus and organ culture, in which the shoot tip and anther culture and its applications, then hybrid production and its application. So these are the different topics which are included in this plant tissue culture unit 3 of the paper 1 for semester 6. So we will see the different MCQs based on these different topics. So the first question, that is the ability of the cell to regenerate into complete organism is known as, means whenever if the single cell is cultured on a culture media, then it can regenerate into the complete organism. So this ability of this cell is known as totipotency. Callus is in the next question, and hybrid is nothing but the organism which is produced by the fusion of two different cells containing the nucleus of one organism and cytoplasm of the two different organisms. So the second one, that is the unorganized mass of parenchymatous cells, is called as, and this is a definition of callus. So when the different cells or the organ or any part of the body from the plants is cultured on a nutrient media, then at that time there is a division and the redivision of the cells, and because of that there is a formation of mass of the cells, and all the cells which are present here, they are isodiametric, then of the same type and parenchymatous thin walled. So such a type of the mass of the cell is known as the callus. And we know that the definition of the tissue, it is a group of the cell having the similar structure, similar function, and similar origin. Then the third one, that is the plant cell without cell wall, is called as, whenever we are talking about the plant cell, the outermost boundary or the outermost limiting membrane is a cell wall, then plasma membrane, cytoplasm, nuclear membrane, and nucleus. But for the fusion in between the two cells, there is a necessity to remove the cell wall from the plant cell, and when we remove the cell wall from the plant cell, then the structure is known as the protoplasm, and hence such a type of the two protoplasms are fused in vitro for the formation of the third type of the organism, even for the hybrid formation or even in the hybrid formation. Then which of the following are sterilized with the dry heat? If you see the process of the sterilizations, that is the sterilization of the glassware, sterilization of the Teflons and the plastic wares, and even the sterilization of the different metal wares that are carried out with the help of dry heat, that is in the oven. And hence both A and B is the answer for this one. Then what is the range of temperature in sterilization method by dry heat in the oven? So we must remember this for the particular answer, that 160 to 180 degrees Celsius temperature for 3 hours should be maintained in the dry heat sterilization method. Then the excised piece of the tissue or organ used for culture is called as, means when we are going to culture the any part of the plant body, then that part of the body which is to be cultured is known as the explant. That may the single cell, that may the tissue or the group of the cell, that may the organ. So in this way, any part which is to be cultured, that is known as the explant, and hence it becomes now the answer for this. Which of the following is true in autoclaving? So the first one, that is the culture vessels with or without media can be sterilized, and this is true because we can sterilize the different vessels with and without culture media. Then second one, that is the temperature and pressure should be maintained properly. There is need to maintain the particular temperature, that is the 121 degree Celsius. So that is important, and even the pressure also, that is the 15 psi. Then autoclaving mainly depends on temperature. When we are autoclaving or sterilizing any vessel or the material in the autoclave, then mainly the temperature is responsible for the sterilization, and hence here all these three are the correct one or true one, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then use of appropriate chemicals for sterilization of plant material is also known as or called as. So we are talking about the chemicals for the sterilization, and that we can say that it is a chemical sterilization. And when there is an utilization of the certain chemicals for the sterilization, that process is also known as the surface sterilization. Usually the plant material along with the laminar airflow or the different instruments or the equipments which are used in the tissue culture technique, that are surface sterilized with the help of alcohol, that is a 70%. Then which of the following chemicals are usually used in surface sterilization? So in addition to that of the chemicals, that is the 70% alcohol, some other compounds like the sodium hypochlorite, then mercury chloride and silver nitrate are also used for the surface sterilization, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then rapid clonal propagation with the help of tissue culture is known as. Whenever we are talking about the clone, so that is nothing but the formation of the progeny which is exact copy of each other, and hence this is only possible when we have to culture the certain vegetative cells or the certain somatic cells of the body, and we have to multiply it with the help of tissue culture. So if such a type of the method is used for the propagation, that is a rapid method, and that is only the micropropagation. So with the help of micropropagation, it is possible for the production of the different clones in a very short period of the time. Then which of the following methods are used in the micropropagation? If you see the complete process of the micropropagation, then there is a need of the proliferation of the axillary buds, so that when there is a formation of or the proliferation of the axillary bud, at that time there will be formation of such many plants from it. So in this way there is need of the proliferation. Then induction of adventitious buds, when they are separated from each other in a different test tubes, again there is a need of the formation of the adventitious buds for the independent plant leaf. Then even the somatic embryogenesis can be carried out for the formation of the embryo, and later on they are subcultured on the different nutrient media. So all the above becomes the answer for this question, which are the different methods which are used in the micropropagation. Then which of the following is true in relation to micropropagation? So if we see the micropropagation, it is a rapid method of the multiplication, as we have seen in the question number 10. Then it is not depend on the environmental condition, because all these different processes which are carried out during the micropropagation, they are the in vitro conditions, and hence they are not dependent upon the environmental condition like the temperature, light, etc. Then it do not need the large field or the for the multiplication of the plants, because here this complete process of the multiplication of the plants in the micropropagation is carried out in the laboratory, and hence there is no need of the separate large field. Hence lakhs of the plant can be produced in a small laboratory, and hence all the above are the true in relation to that of the micropropagation. Then which of the following plant hormones are supplemented during the micropropagation? No doubt there is a need of the culture media, nutrient media, and nutrient media contain the different growth hormones or the plant hormones. So there is a need of the cytokinin as well as the auxin both, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following explant is commonly used for the micropropagation? Means whenever we have to use the micropropagation, then which is the suitable plant material that is to be used for the micropropagation? So the shoot tip as well as the nodal explant. So both these are the component containing the meristems, and such a type of the cells are commonly preferred for the micropropagation, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following is limitation of micropropagation? If you see the micropropagation, there are the certain limitations or the disadvantages also, and because of that here the absence of suitable technique for the micropropagation of the tree species, because when there is a age of the plant, it is possible that there may be development of the certain infections, and even these tree species are not responding to the micropropagation technique or the method. So this is also the correct one. Then somaclonal variation may arise during in vitro culture. During any culture, here there is a possibility of the introduction of the somaclonal variation, means during the formation of the clones or the multiple cells, there is a possibility of the certain variations that are known as the somaclonal variation. So this is also the true. Then high production cost of the micropropagules. Whenever the micropropagation is carried out, there is a need of the many growth regulators and enzymes, nutrient media, culture media, and all these are the costly, and hence the propagation of the plants is through the micropropagation is one of the costly process, and hence it is very specifically used for the few important plants or the cultivated plants and the ornamental plants, and in general it is not possible, and hence all the above are the different disadvantages or the limitations of the micropropagation. Then growth regulators requirement depends on which of the following stage of the culture process. Whenever we are talking about the requirement of the different growth regulators during the culture, at that time there is a need of the different quantity or the different concentration or the different growth regulators at the different stage, and hence here the culture initiation will require the different combination, then shoot multiplication require the different combination, and rooting of the shoot require again the different combination, and hence we can say that at the different stage there is a need of the alteration of the composition of the different nutrient media, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this one. Then culture vessels are generally sterilized in autoclave at, just I have told you during the autoclaving that 121 degrees Celsius temperature is to be maintained in the autoclave for the 15 psi, that is the pressure. So this is a correct answer for this question. Then what is the meaning of psi in the autoclave pressure? As we have seen here the 15 psi. So what is the meaning of this psi? So we have to remember that unit which is used to measure the pressure, and that is the pounds per square inch, and hence it is the correct answer for this question. Then which of the following is true in relation to autoclaving sterilization? So the first one, that is the specific type of plastic wares can be autoclave, that is Teflon coated. Then metal wares and glass wares can be autoclaved. This is also the true. Then autoclave can be open only when it indicate the zero pressure, so that it will not be the dangerous during the opening of the autoclave, and hence all these three are the correct statement, and hence they are true in relation to the autoclave sterilization, and hence all the above becomes the answer. Then in which of the following method of sterilization oven is used? So the use of the oven is nothing but the process of sterilization, and that is known as the dry heat sterilization, and hence it is the answer. Then which of the following method is used to produce haploid plants? So for the production of the haploid plants, there is need of the anther culture, so that the pollen grains which are present in the anther, they can multiply and develops into the callus having the haploid number of chromosome, or the one set of the chromosome, which result into the formation of the haploid plant. Callus is formed with the help of all type of the cells, even the diploid and the haploid, and hence it is not the answer. And the shoot tips are the diploid ones, and hence it is not responsible for the formation of the haploid plants, and hence the anther culture is a correct option for this question. Then which of the following can produce the diploid plants during anther culture? If there is a anther culture, as we know, the anther culture is carried out for the production of the haploid plant, but the wall of the anther which is diploid, and hence when there is a injury to the wall of the anther, then there is a possibility of the formation of the callus, and through that callus there may be development of the diploid plants, and hence the injured anther will be the answer for this question. So the pollen dimorphism is known as, means when we have to see the any anther, at that time usually inside the anther there are the presence of two different type of the pollen grains. So that is the larger one and the smaller ones, and these smaller ones are known as the S grains. So such a type of the pollen grains, that is the larger and the smaller sized, and that is known as the two type of the pollen grains, and hence it is the answer for this one. The frequency of responding pollen grains, that is the S grain, can be enhanced over by treatment. Means if we want to increase the frequency of pollen grain responding the pollen grains, that is the S grain, then there is need of the chilling treatment, so that all the pollen grains or the S grains can respond to the culture and multiply and develops into the haploid plants. Then which of the following reduced to form embryos from the pollen during anther culture? So if we see this process of the formation, that is the embryo from the pollen grain, then there is a utilization of the cytokinin which is responsible for the formation of the embryos from the pollen grain during the anther culture. Then the pollen grains of cultured anthers show remarkable cytological changes during the first 6 to 12 days, and this is known as, so you should remember the answer of this one, that if there is a anther or the pollen culture, and which show the remarkable cytological changes during the first 6 to 12 days, and this is known as the inductive period of the anther culture. Then induction of haploid embryos or plantlets from pollen grains is referred as. This part of the flower, that is the androecium, and from the androecium there is a indivisible organ in the form of male reproductive organ, that is the anther, which contain the pollen grains, and hence this process is known as the androgenesis. The optimum temperature required for anther culture is, means the complete process of the anther culture require the optimum temperature, and usually it is a normal process or the normal temperature which is required for the growth and development of the different cells under the controlled condition, and that is 20 to 28 degree Celsius, which is normally the room temperature. So there is a necessity to maintain this temperature, that is from the 21 degree Celsius to the 28 degree Celsius. Then which of the following is essential for induction of embryogenesis during anther culture? So if we see the essential component during the induction of the embryogenesis in anther culture, then the sucrose, which is to be used as a carbon source, and it is an important thing for the embryogenesis during anther culture. Then which of the following states of pollen grains are best for anther culture? Means when the anthers are cultured, it is cultured at the different stages of the pollen grain, right from the formation from pollen mother cells. So the just after first pollen grain mitosis, so this is also the correct one. At this stage even the anther culture is carried out. At the early binucleate stage, at this time also the anther is cultured, and when the pollen mother cells are in a meiosis first, that is the first division, and at this time also the anthers are taken for the culture, and hence all the above stages are used during the anther culture. The main objective of shoot tip culture is, whenever we are talking about the nodal cells or the shoot tip, usually these are used for the virus free generation of the population. So whenever we are talking about the shoot tip, then usually here there is a utilization of the shoot tip which contain the meristems, and the meristems cell do not contain the viruses, and hence there is a development of the virus free population in the culture, and hence the production of disease free plant becomes one of the objective of the shoot tip culture. Then callus cultures need to be subcultured in view of the cell growth, nutrient depletion and medium drying. So these are also the different reasons why there is a necessity of the subculturing of the callus. So usually it is subcultured at the 3 to 5 weeks. Then which of the following method is used in callus culture? So if we see the suspension culture, then that is the culturing of the callus in a liquid medium. So these suspension culture later on classified into the 3 different types, that is immobilized cell culture, batch culture and the continuous culture. So these are the type of suspension culture, and the suspension culture is the method which is to be used for the callus culture, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. The method is known as suspension culture when the tissue and the cells are cultured in or on a. So whenever we are talking about the suspension culture, at that time the suspension culture is nothing but the culture of the cells in a liquid medium, and hence the liquid medium, that is the liquid culture medium, becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following inorganic compound is in a highest quantity in MS medium? MS, that is Murashinge and Skug. So the first one, that is the KNO3. So this one is 1900 milligram per liter is used. Then the second one, here it is 1650 milligram per liter it is used. This is organic and hence it is not inorganic compound, and the NH4 to SO4, that is ammonium sulfate, is not the component of MS medium, and hence the KNO3 becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following is used as a gelling agent in a culture medium? As we know that during the culture there is a need of the gelling agent which can becomes a liquid at the higher temperature and become solid at the room temperature, and such type of the compound is a agar, which is to be commonly used in every tissue culture laboratory. Then which of the following organic compounds or components are present in a MS medium? So in almost every medium there is a presence of vitamins, amino acids and growth regulators, and hence they will be also present in the MS medium also, because all these three are the essential components which are used by the growing cells or the tissue in the tissue culture, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following component of MS medium is organic compound? So here the potassium nitrate, sodium sulfate, these are the inorganic ones, and the sucrose is a organic one which is present in the MS medium, and hence the sucrose becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following growth regulator is used for the shoot elongation and somatic embryo germination? If we see the shoot elongation, as we have seen in the physiology also, that the gibberellin is responsible for the elongation of the internode, and hence it is responsible for the shoot elongation, and hence the gibberellin becomes the correct answer for this question. Then which of the following growth regulators are commonly used to support cell division and callus growth also? So the indole acetic acid, indole 3 acetic acid, that is the auxin, then naphthalene acetic acid and 2,4-D, all these are responsible to induce the cell division as well as the growth of the cell, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following is used as a carbon source in the plant tissue culture? As we have seen earlier in the question, that the sucrose is one of the components which is used commonly as a carbon source in the anther culture also. So in addition to that, the glucose is also used in the monocotyledons, and in addition to the sucrose and the glucose, even the maltose is also used for the carbon source, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following statement is true in relation to shoot culture? So the shoot regeneration is promoted by cytokinin, and this is the correct one. Then shoot regeneration is inhibited by the auxin, and this is also the correct statement, and hence as both the statements are true or the correct one, both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following step will be involved in a diploid callus formation during anther culture? As earlier we have seen there is a possibility of the formation of the diploid callus, and from that callus diploid plant also, when the anther wall is injured, and hence the injury to the anther wall during the culture is a possibility of the development of the diploid culture during callus culture, during anther culture. Then which of the following statement is true for the cybrid production? Whenever we are talking about the cybrid production, it is nothing but the system in which the two protoplasm are fused with each other, but out of that the one nucleus present and another is absent, and hence such a type of the two cells fused together will have the nucleus of the one and the cytoplasm of both the cells, and hence it contains the nucleus of one organism and the cytoplasm of the two organism. That is the correct one in production of the cybrid. Then which of the following is an advantage of the cybrid production? So the transfer of plasma genes of one species to nuclear background of the another species. So here we can see here the plasma genes can be transferred, that is the genes which are present in the form of the mitochondrial DNA and the chloroplast DNA, and the nucleus of background of the another species. So this is possible with the help of cybrid production. And possibility of the sexually incompatible combination, because we are not talking about the different two organisms, but we are fusing here the two protoplasts. So the two cells are fused here, and hence there is no necessity to find out the compatibility, and hence even in the incompatible combination there is a possibility of the formation of the hybrid. Then mitochondria and the chloroplast of the two different species can be brought together, and because of the combination of the cytoplasm of the two different organisms, here there is maybe combination of the cytoplasm containing the mitochondria and the chloroplast, and hence it is also the possible, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then anucleate protoplast are commonly called as we have seen earlier, there is a fusion of the two cells, that is one containing the nucleus and another without nucleus. So such a type of the cell without a nucleus are known as the cytoplast, and hence it is known as the answer. Here the explant that we have seen earlier, that is the any part of the body which is used to culture, that may the cell, that may the tissue, that may the organ, etc. And whenever the shoot tip containing the meristematic cells or the apical shoot meristem, then that type of the explant is known as the meristemate. Then which of the following method is used in the production of cybrid in relatively high frequency? Means whenever there is need to increase the frequency of the fusion of the two cells, in such a cases there is a need of the use of the certain methods also. So irradiating the protoplast of one species with the X-ray or the gamma rays, which are responsible to inactivate the nucleus of the one, so that we will have the formation of the anucleate type of the cells. In addition to that, by preparing the anucleate protoplast of the one species by one or the other methods. So such type of the methods are used in the production of the cybrids, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following components are used in maintaining the pH of culture medium? Whenever there is a need of the maintenance of the pH, there is a need to have the two different components, that is one is the acidic and another one is the basic, so that the pH can be lowered and the pH can be higher. So here the HCl and the NaOH, that is one is the acidic and another one as a basic one, and both are used in the tissue culture techniques for maintaining the pH of the medium, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following growth regulator is used in very small quantity? If we see the measurement or the quantity of the different components like the auxin, cytokinin, gibberellin, and ABA. So here there is a use of different quantity, of which only 0.2 milligram per liter is used for the ABA, while 1 to 3 milligram, and here also 1 to 3 milligram per liter is used for the auxin and the cytokinin, while here the 0.1 to 1 milligram for the gibberellic acid, and hence almost the very small quantity of the abscisic acid is used in the tissue culture techniques. Then who is known as father of tissue culture? We must remember the name of the scientist who is well known as a father of tissue culture, and he is Haberlandt. The pair of hormone required for the callus to differentiate are: after the formation of the callus, there is a necessity of the differentiation of the cell, means the formation of the different type of the cells from the same type of the cell, that is known as the differentiation, that is the formation of the root, stem and leaves, etc., that is the morphogenesis. And for the morphogenesis or the differentiation of the cells from the callus require the auxin and the cytokinin. So we should remember these two names which are responsible for the differentiation of the callus. Then formation of embryoids from the pollen or anther in tissue culture medium is due to: whenever there is a formation of the embryoid, means nothing but the formation of the complete organism or the ability to develop as a complete organism, because later on after the germination in the laboratory or in a tissue culture or on medium, the embryoids are responsible to give rise the complete plant body, and such a type of the ability of the cell is nothing but the cellular totipotency, and hence it is the answer. Here there is no question arise of the double fertilization, it is nothing but the sexual reproduction in the angiosperm. Even here this is not the test tube culture, or it is not the process of the organogenesis. Then totipotency refers to, earlier we have seen that the totipotency is nothing but the ability of the single cell to regenerate into the complete organism. So in the other way we can say that the development of an organ from a cell in a culture medium, like the root, stem and the leaves. So when such a type of the complete organism is developed from the single cell, then it is known as the totipotency, and hence the B is the correct answer for this question. Then in which of the following conditions do the somaclonal variation appears? So if we see the somaclonal variation, it is the word which is to be introduced for the variation which are formed or generated during the plant tissue culture, and hence the plants when are raised in a tissue culture having the certain variations among them, and that are known as the somaclonal variation, because there is a formation of the plant from the somatic cells, and it is a cloning process when they are cultured on a nutrient medium in the laboratory. Then in plant tissue culture, the callus tissues are generated into a complete plantlet by altering the concentration of. So whenever we are talking about the conversion of the callus into the different parts or the organs or the differentiation, then we have seen earlier that there is a need of the change in the concentration of the hormones, and hence the hormones becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following medium is composed of chemically defined compounds? First one, that is the natural media, and second one is a synthetic media. Synthetic media is also known as the artificial media. So usually the artificial media is nothing but the combination of the different organic and inorganic components, including the hormones, carbon sources and the other inorganic components, and hence here it is with the known chemical composition, and hence the synthetic media becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following chemicals are most widely used for the protoplast fusion? So it is a well-known chemical compound, that is the polyethylene glycol, which is commonly known as the fusogenic agent because it is responsible for the fusion of the protoplast. Earlier we have seen that the plant cell without cell wall, that is known as the protoplast. So such a type of the two cells can easily be fused with each other by addition of the polyethylene glycol, and hence it becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following plant cell shows totipotency? Because every plant cell is not totipotent. It do not have the ability to regenerate into the complete organism. So the cork cells, sieve tubes and the xylem vessels, these are not used in a culture because they do not have the ability to regenerate into the complete organism. And earlier we have seen that the shoot tip are used for the culture, and hence in a shoot tip, that is the apical shoot meristems, it indicates that the meristems are the appropriate types of the cells or the tissues which are usually used in the plant tissue culture because they have the ability of the regeneration into the complete organism, and that is known as the totipotency. Then which of the following statement is incorrect about the agar? Incorrect. It remains stable at incubation temperature. This is the correct one. It does not react with media constituents, and hence the agar is used as a culture media. Then it does not use in micropropagation. When we are talking about the culture media, they are used everywhere in every plant cell culture, and hence this is the wrong one, and hence the C is the wrong one, and hence it is the incorrect about the agar, and hence the C is the answer for this question. Then this has a cellular totipotency property. If we see, the cellular totipotency means having the ability of the single cell to regenerate into the complete organism. So it is a characteristic feature of the plants, and that is only because of the presence of the meristematic cells in it, and hence the plants becomes the answer for this question. So all these questions were based upon the unit 3 from paper 1 of the semester 6, and I am very much hopeful and confident that this lecture will be helpful to the students of semester 6 RTM Nagpur University, and this will be helpful in your examinations like the other examination like the JAMS, NET-set, etc. So thank you very much for your kind listening of this complete lecture. If you like this lecture or it is beneficial to you, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You, and also press bell icon for the alerts of every lecture to be uploaded on different life science titles. If you want to associate with us, then you can use the Telegram link and join the Telegram group for the further alerts of the different lectures as well as the program. Thanks a lot once again.